Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a review on the Cotton Carrier G3. This has been life-changing for me. I'm going to talk a lot about this in a lot of different areas. And then at the end, stick around to the end because I am actually going to compare it to another off-brand harness. Similar concept, but different brand, different company, and it's a lot cheaper. So be sure to stick around for that. Hi guys, I just want to interrupt your video for one quick moment and ask a favor. YouTube is telling me that the majority of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So if that's you, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, I would so appreciate if you would subscribe. Also, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you hit that bell icon, it will notify you when I upload videos in the future. I really do appreciate your support and it helps me continue to make videos just like this. Thank you so much. Now back to your video. So let's put this on. You can leave both of these hooked and just go over your head, but it always gets caught in my hair. So I really appreciate that they have this extra hook. And then I'm just going to slip one arm through and then clip this and then clip the side. There it is. And then to put your camera on here, this is attaching to the foot on the collar for this lens. I will demonstrate in a little while using any other lens I own. This is the only lens I own that has a collar and a foot. So then I attach to the from the camera body for any other lens I own. And before I owned this, I just had a strap. I had a pretty heavy duty strap. And most of the time I had my 18-300 lens. That's what I used to use for my nature and wildlife photography. And I just had a strap that I would put over my neck and one arm. And I would switch sides if it was pulling and weighing on me. Because I do have like neck issues from a car accident a long time ago. So that is what I am sort of comparing this to. I would love to hear in the comment section different ways that people carry their cameras around. If it's a strap or a harness like this or something else, I would love to hear about it. So you put it in and then you turn it. And now it's locked. Can't lift it up unless you turn it and pull it out. It has a tether, which I think I put it on backwards from the way they mean it to be, but I like it this way because this end sort of ties on and then this one hooks on. It hooks on with this. And then there's also a little quick release tab in the middle of that. I don't really want it tied onto my camera because sometimes I don't want it there. Most of the time, this piece is on here because I use this like almost every day. But there are times where it's in my way. I'm doing something else and I want to take it off completely. And it's much easier for me to take this off than to untie this end. So I think they meant for it to be the other way, but I like it like this. As far as mounting it, it comes with this circular piece. And then I added on this piece, and I'll put links for these in the description box for everything. I added on this piece. I bought it from Cotton Carrier, and that allows me to still use my tripod because without that piece, this circular piece mounted in the middle of this, like right here. And then I could not use this to mount it on the tripod. So when you buy this other piece from them, then you can mount it back here. And now you can use this for your tripod. And I have the exact same setup on my camera body. So I can put it on the Cotton Carrier and I can also put it on a tripod at any time I want. And I use that if I'm using any other lens besides this lens. And it comes with a rain cover, which I've actually never used before. And as I suspected, it doesn't fit this lens. It's kind of a weird shape. I'm actually not sure how it's supposed to fit. But if there's any chance of rain, I typically go back to my 18-300 lens, and I have a big waterproof windbreaker that I wear, and I can zip up over it. The only reason it won't zip up over this is because it's attaching to this foot, and that makes it stick out so much further, and my jacket can't get over that. You definitely want to make sure you adjust all your straps properly. You want it to fit really well, because if it's loose and it's hanging, you're just going to have all this weight hanging on your body. It is still going to be heavy. I have it as tight as I can get it, and it's still kind of loose. I wish I could make it tighter. I wish they would sell like two sizes, like a bigger size and a smaller size, because I'm typically a size medium in women's clothing, and I know there are tons of women much smaller than me, and this would be kind of big on them because it's a little big on me. So that's kind of an issue that I have with it. This side up here adjusts much shorter than this side does. And so it's always kind of uneven. That's a little bit annoying too. I do wish, especially for the price that it costs, I do wish it was made a little bit better. There are some other issues I'll get into as well. There is also this other strap that you can bring across and hook it over here. And it's adjustable. I have it adjusted. You can make it much smaller if you don't have a big lens like this. It's going to hold it in against you. So if you're hiking and you're like, sometimes when you're like a real hike, you're like bending forward, it's going to hold it against you and help keep it more stable. But most of the time I'm just out for walks, not bending much. And then it's undone so I can get it off quickly. If I see something to photograph, and then if I do bend occasionally, I just hold it here with my hands. So that's how I do it. But they do have this nice strap in case you need it. One thing I need to point out is that I hear a lot of people who criticize these types of harnesses because they say it slows them down and they miss their shots. And I just have to say, I've been using a harness now since December. And it is not, in case you're watching this at some other point in the future, I'm now in April. So it's just been a few months, and very quickly, like within the first month of using it, I had it down. It just takes practice. Boom. It's like putting it back is a little more effort. I do always look just to make sure. I don't want to think it's in there and it's not, but pulling it out is like that easy. In my mind, I equate it to carrying a gun for your safety. And are you going to wear a gun on a strap around your neck? Because pulling it out of a holster is going to slow you down. And nobody's going to do that, right? And yet the gun is actually kind of more important than your camera, because the gun can save your life. And nobody's doing that. They're actually behind the scenes practicing pulling it out of the holster, right? So I encourage you to, behind the scenes, practice this. And this does not slow me down any more than going down here and getting it while it's on a strap. So I have to say that is just not a reason to skip one of these. And really, it distributes the weight so evenly. It's not on, when I had the strap, it was over the neck and one arm. And I would switch it back and forth because this one's getting sore. And it was always, very one-sided weight. And this is so evenly distributed. This is 6 pounds lens and camera body. It's just a little over 6 pounds. And it's easy. I have carried it for hours. I will say I walked over 8 miles. It was an accident. I did not know I was going to walk over 8 miles, but I did. And I did it. I was a little sore up here after, but that's longer than I had intended to wear it. But it's totally doable. And I'm sure if you're a man and you're stronger than me, that you could do it for hours and hours and hours and you would be totally fine. And if not, I encourage you, if you are capable, to work out and build muscle to be stronger and support this. I know some people who do wildlife photography carry binoculars with them. And so this is another great way. You can be hands-free. You can be doing whatever. You got a walking stick if you're out hiking and you need it. And you are hands-free until you see something and then you need your camera. So I think that's another bonus. So I will show you with my 18-300 lens where I attach it from the camera body. Okay, this is my 18-300 lens. And there, it doesn't hang completely straight because the attachment is on this corner of the bottom of the camera body. And this is not as heavy of a lens to pull it, but it's there, it works. And you can see how much more flush it is with my body. So I can get my windbreaker over. When it's attached to the foot of the lens collar, it sticks out a little too far. But this is very comfortable. I don't even feel this at all. This is 2 pounds and some ounces. I think it's like 2 pounds and 4 ounces. I forget exactly. I have weighed it. Yeah, it works great. And I have even smaller lenses than this that I could use this with. So 2 more things that I want to share. One is sort of the cons of this. I mentioned a couple of them, that it's still a little loose, even though I have it tightened as tight as it will go. You know, this one goes tighter than this one. I'm sure it's because there's this buckle here, or snap, whatever you call it. But I wish it was better made. They could have made it better where they would be even. And then even here, you can see it's loose on me, even though I have it adjusted as tight as it will go. My other complaint is just there's like Velcro stuff all over the place, and it's constantly scratching me and cutting me. It's very uncomfortable. There is this whole Velcro piece here, which I don't even see the point. There's nothing like that over here. And if I don't have a jacket, it's cutting into my arm. It's really uncomfortable. And then there is this strap that holds your big lens down. And there's this piece of Velcro here. I covered it because it's there's always like the rougher side of Velcro and the softer side. Well, this is like the really rough side. So I cut out a piece and put it over. But now even just the edges of this they cut into me all the time because it's right on my arm. That's extremely uncomfortable. And there's another piece down here. I covered it as well, but it still gets annoying. So I don't know what all the Velcro stuff's about. This, I will also say, it did not come with good instructions. It came with no written instructions. It came with a QR code, and I scanned it and I got a video that didn't even have any talking, explaining anything. They just showed you some stuff, and it was shown very poorly, in my opinion. I was very confused. I had to go look up videos from other people showing me how to do this, and I still had questions, especially there's no video. They don't have a video showing you how to attach the hub to the foot of the collar. It's just to the camera body that they show you. So all of that, I think they could just do such a better job, and they're not for whatever reason. And my one final complaint is just this pocket. This is nice. I keep the Allen wrench in case the attachment things come loose. I can adjust them while I'm out. But I do wish it had a little flap that would fold over. That would be a good reason to have Velcro. You could like Velcro that shut, because I do have to, this kind of works its way out, and I have to keep pushing it back in there. And then my final thing to share is that I mentioned in the beginning that I had bought a different off-brand harness back in December because I knew I was going to be getting my new camera soon, and I knew I couldn't carry this on a strap around my neck. There's no way. This was the only option I saw. So I bought this other brand, and I will insert a photo here of it, as well as I will try to find a picture or video of me wearing it, and I'll insert that. And I have to say, it wasn't horrible. I thought for the price point, it would be really bad. And I thought, well, let me try it and see. And then I can do a video about it. And then I'll get the cotton carrier and do another video and like do a comparison kind of video. What happened was it wasn't that bad. The biggest issue I had was it was too big for me. But with the 18-300 lens, it wasn't a big issue. And I didn't realize with more weight, it probably would have been an issue. I didn't realize that at the time. But aside from it being really large, even when I shrunk it down, adjusted it down as small as possible, aside from that, it wasn't bad at all. And the only reason I got rid of it and got this one was when I got my new camera, I was trying to attach it to the foot of the collar, and I reached out to the company and they told me, oh, you can't do that with this harness. That's not an option. And then they proceeded to tell me that lots of people just do it on the camera body, even with their big lenses, and there's no issue. And I'm sorry, I have a real problem with that. So for that statement alone, I will never buy anything from that brand again, because you put serious money into your equipment and you need to take care of your equipment. And to have a company encouraging you to do something that's going to damage your equipment just so they make money on their product and you don't return it, I think that's pretty awful. That's like really, really awful. I won't even, like, for a minute hold it just from the camera body. I always hold it from the lens. I mean, yes, I'm holding here to capture the photos. That's not where the weight is. My hand with the lens is always supporting the weight, because you could damage your lens mount. You could really damage your camera body. So the fact that they like pretty much lied to me, just so that they would make money on their product, I don't know. That really bothered me. So I don't really recommend it for that reason alone, but it wasn't horrible. I wish they would just make it where you could attach the foot of the collar. But again, it was still too big. And for sure, I think with more weight, then it's when it's loose, when your harness is too loose, the weight is just going to pull on you rather than you supporting the weight, if that makes sense. So it would have ended up being a problem anyways, but I will share it here as an option for someone that it might work for. So ultimately, would I buy it again? Yes. I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with it, mostly because of the Velcro. I really hate the Velcro cutting me, especially in colder weather. It's fine because I have a jacket and I'm protected from the Velcro. In warmer weather, it really does bother me. So yes, I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with this, but the love side of it outweighs the hate, if that makes sense. So yes, I'm keeping it. Yes, I use it every single day. And yes, I do recommend it. So if anyone can tell me what this Velcro is for, or if you have any suggestions for how to cover up this Velcro so it's not cutting me, that would be really great. I would really appreciate that. So thank you for joining me. I hope this video was helpful. Please leave me in the comment section how you carry your cameras around when you're out and about. And especially if you have larger lenses, I would love to hear. I would love to learn about other options. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day, guys, and God bless you.